We always get off track. What was the question?
One of the single best predictors of how we respond to our trials is our relationship to them and our belief about what trials do for us. So you don't... Hi friend, it's Mesha. Today we're talking about staying optimistic in hard times. And the thing is I think that the whole key to staying optimistic in hard times has actually nothing to do with optimism at all. I think optimism is a byproduct of another behavior. See, being optimistic is staying hopeful, and hope can wane when what you have consistently hoped for over and over doesn't come. The key for me then lies in being grateful inside the circumstance. Guys, the key lies in gratitude. See, gratitude feeds hope, and being hopeful and staying hopeful feeds optimism. And through gratitude, we see life through a completely different lens. We start to see things that could work together for our good. And that leads to the positive, optimistic side of life. Hi, sweetheart. My sweetie's right there. They're so cute. Did you go in? Ooh, I gotta go get on those paddle boards. Do a little yoga out there, that's my jam. I love it. So I wanted to know what some of my dear friends thought about how to stay optimistic during hard times, so I asked them.
I like to focus on my internal voice in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has always helped me, because when you get hit so hard where you feel like you just can't breathe,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, when am I going to be able to breathe again?
Mm-hmm.
You just keep telling yourself whatever it is you tell yourself inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, that internal
Mm-hmm.
reflection and the positive reinforcement to yourself.
Right.
Because you're right, it is hard, and you just can't say it's not going to not be hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it depends.
And then it's the little
mm-hmm.
stuff you do along the outskirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have to surround yourself by people that will lift you up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how anyone could get through something without, and I don't know if that doesn't come naturally to you,
Mm-hmm.
to surround yourself by someone.
Mm-hmm.
That comes naturally to you. It comes naturally to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do that if it doesn't come naturally
Well,
to you.
if it doesn't come natural to you, and that's being around a person that's live, then hey, how about you seek after good people that are amazing on YouTube, or amazing talks, or amazing, anything that's positive, that's
Mm-hmm.
uplifting, that you can be partaking in to like retrain your brain. Those are some amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's really good advice, is just keeping your mentality in check, and being able to weigh out like how much positive versus negative that you're around when you're in the mud, when you're going through the mud, and when you're really just trying to stay optimistic.
Yeah, when you're trying to keep your head above water, you don't
Mm-hmm.
want anything attached to you that's going to take you down further.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay to get a little bit of distance sometimes. If there's someone in your life that's negative, it's okay to have a little bit of distance. You don't really even have to explain yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
When
That's the
it's-
beauty of aging. I feel like the older I get, the more
Mm-hmm.
I sit with certain situations,
Yeah.
allowing myself.
Mm-hmm. And it
that
can be
space.
it could be a simple explanation too, just like, hey, I just need time for myself. If you need to distance, but yeah, doing that, making sure that your mentality, that's an awesome piece of advice. How do you stay optimistic during hard times? So how do you do that? Like, what do you do? What works for you?
I pray.
You pray. Mm-hmm.
No, I pray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pray, and then I try to just tell myself it's temporary. It's not going to last. But when emotions take over, then it's kind of difficult to get control of that. So I think, and you got to take it out of your own hands. You can't control it sometimes. Sometimes things are just out of your control. And then that's when you kind of have to put it in God's hands. So that's why I say you have to pray and have a little faith.
That whatever
He has in store is going to be for your benefit over the long run, even if it sucks temporarily.
Yeah. Even in the hardest of times.
True. And you can live in fear of the worst possible thing all the time. And if you're constantly living in fear, then maybe you do get stuck in that despair and get helpless.
And if you've just lived a really hard life and nothing ever came your way, you know,
I think it's just being happy in the moment.
Yeah.
You can find small pieces of happiness. I think
looking for good.
You can find it if you're looking for it.
You just have to look through a different lens.
And you can. I mean, I don't know what true depression or true despair maybe feels like, for some people, but I feel like I can wake up and find something to be happy about that day.
And that's gratitude.
I hope so.
That's seeing the good.
I hope I don't feel the other way.
Yeah.
Ever.
So I love all that insight from friends. I think there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of ways that you could answer the question, how can we be optimistic, especially in hard times? How do we stay in the optimism? And I like the idea of thinking of optimism as a byproduct, because I don't think it's an easy thing to give someone the answer, just be happy, just choose to be happy. I don't think that that's an easy thing for a lot of people. But I do really like thinking of it as a byproduct, because I think you can lose hope over time. I think hope can wax and wane as what you've hoped for doesn't come over and over again. And I think that can give you a full sense of sadness that can bring about what feels like failure. I think that when we see life with gratitude, no matter what it is, if it's tiny little things, and sometimes we have to start there because things are so bad that we really can't see the good. And I just think so often that if we can see life with gratitude, that we then shift our lens. We shift our lens and we start to see that things are going to work together for our good, because we start to see the good. And when we start to see the good, then we can be hopeful again. And hope leads to optimism. Okay, but wait, you might ask, what about trials that are so difficult, like so hard, that there is seriously no gratitude to be found? What about those kinds of trials? What about the trials that are so bad that we really can't find or see the good at all? What about those trials? And to me, the answer to that question, you guys, is what is your relationship to your trials? That's what I would ask you to take a look at. Have you seen in times past that your trials have made you a better person? Have they contributed to your growth, to your learning, to your understanding, to your views about life, to your compassion towards other people? Has it made you a better person? Have your trials in the past made you a better person? I think that when we're able to see that, we can trust that the trial that we're in right now, even though sometimes it might be hard to see, like, why in heaven's name we would even be experiencing something this tough. And I think that looking for what our past trials have brought into our life can give us and help us have the strength that we need to get through the trials that we're currently in. It's always easier to see the reason why we went through the trial after the trial. But for whatever reason, when we're in it, it is so hard to look for the reasons why we might be experiencing that trial. But I know that one of the single best predictors of how we respond to our trials is our relationship to them and our belief about what trials do for us. So evaluate that. Evaluate why you've experienced trials in the past, and I think it will bring you a lot of understanding about what trials can do for you. I think that when we have that belief, that we can find gratitude, that we can find gratitude even when we're in the struggle and even when we're in the mud and the yuck of the heaviness that trials can bring. And therefore, it allows us the space to find gratitude in our trials, maybe not about our trial, maybe not about our current trial, but gratitude about whatever is currently going on, even if it's just the beauty that surrounds us or a friend that is helping us, whatever it is, being able to see a little bit more gratitude, see things through a better lens. And when we do find gratitude, when we're in our trials, it makes our trials more bearable. It allows and restores our belief that it will work together for our good. I believe that if you allow your optimism to come by way of gratitude, that it is there that you'll find hope and that you'll find the strength that you need to continue going through the trial. I hope you liked taking a little walk with me in the woods today. I hope that maybe something that you heard gave you the idea, just the idea, that you can make it through your trial. I hope. You guys, if you want more messages like this, I'm bringing you things every single week to help you lift your living and help you live happy and be inspired. So make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you next time.